I hope I can remember There's a live cast on people in LA. Hi, Claudia.
Did you bring any dinner? Hi, Lynn. I brought a chicken.
Well, my job title is actually writer-producer. That's because at 7, as you probably know, writers can be producers. We're all in the same union. What I do is I produce the late weekend shows. Normally, that's my normal beat. And whenever the 6 or 5 or regular 11 o'clock producer is ill during the week, I take their place. So I do a lot of fill-in producing, which is very nice because I get a chance to do an hour show at least, once a week or once every 2 weeks.
Okay, Stanford Library is the water main that broke last night and did almost $1 million in damage. Well, they say $1 million, but the damage is really, you can't put a value on it, they say. Stanford.
But they have, right?
Yeah.
We can't, but we did.
Yeah, so that turned down a bribe to nix the Camp David treaty, $5 million worth.
KG 598 to KK 4425.
Are you available for 904 with 4x100? Mary.
Just be at his phone.
Yeah. Okay, what did he say?
Okay, last night, Fred Mendoza lost a finger in an accident. He was cleaning a machine that was still running. As you know, the safety rules there are very low. And the guy is now in Vallejo General Hospital. We could probably get more information by speaking to him there. He worked in the section which packaged 1 pound brown.
Okay, would you call him at the hospital when you find Giomi?
Okay.
In the Office of Management and Budget, which is the President's financial arm and administrative side, recommended you veto it. They've been against it.
I just got back down. Oh, okay, shoot. Yeah. Now, this is going to need a reporter. Did Dwight leave on? Yeah, he's already gone. One thing is we could set it up for 8:15. Could you go?
The grandmother is something for they may not have family.
8:15.
So I can go to dinner?
Yeah.
That'd be great. If I can go to dinner, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, I can go to dinner where...
Okay, I'll do that. Yeah. Sure.
Fred?
So what time? Someone was talking about child abuse here the other day, and I was listening to them, and she said something that I really think is very applicable to the elderly, because she said...
It's Claudia. I have good news. Apparently, another CNH worker got in an accident because of safety last night and cut his finger, and he's in the hospital. Yes, have mercy. So, I want to keep Yomi on overtime. He's already off, so is that a callback? Okay, great. I'm going to have, and Dwight had already left, this happened a few seconds ago, so I'm going to have Linda go do the interview after the first show. Okay? All right, thanks a lot. Oh, now, do I need lawyers and all this kind of stuff?
34101, what was the nature of the call?
Call you with the story? Okay. Okay, great. All right. Bye-bye. It's fine.
Okay, this is Mr. Mendoza on the phone now.
Oh, great.
The man who was the victim of the accident.
Yeah, I will talk to the nurse. As long as she'll check with you, please tell her that you said it was all right. Okay? All right, and then we'll call back and we'll talk to the nurse and see if we can come in or send somebody in to talk to you. Okay?
The producer of a news show is an organizer, a supervisor, a lackey. It's up to me to conceive of the show. That's the first thing I have to do. That's what all the ripping the wire copy for and reading the reporters' poop sheets and making beat calls on my own, etc. is, to conceive of what I think would be a good show. Then after all that's done, I take the elements that I do have and see how much they differ between what I wanted in reality. And I begin to format, and that's the actual making of a show. Taking into the account how late a story is. I mean, is it happening now or reasonably now? How good it is content-wise. Will it really grip you and make you stand up out of your chair? How well it would go with another story that could play around it, that's flow. How well it's written, how well a certain person would read it as opposed to another anchor person. And that's basically the format. I do all of that, which is really fun. That's my favorite part. It's like finding the combination. And sometimes you hit on the right one, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you're close, sometimes you're not. But I really like that part. That's what I do. And then the very last part is mechanical and technical, which is back timing and the ordering of chromas and what do you do if you have to drop a film and how do you replace it and that sort of thing.
Yes, this is Claudia Pryor. I'm the 11 o'clock producer of Channel 7. And Mr. Fred Mendoza has said that he would not mind if we had an interview with him, and our usual procedure is to check also through hospital officials so we just don't show up. Okay, sure. I'll give you our hotline. It's 863-1840. Okay? Claudia Pryor. And what was your name again? Mrs. Garrison. Thank you very much. Okay. Bye-bye.
That'd be useful, because otherwise I'm going to take time to...
It occurs to me I should say why I'm a lackey. The reason a producer is a lackey is because you have to take shit from every single person in the newsroom.
Fred? Yeah. You know how to fix this DEF wire?
I'll give it a try.
Yeah, we'll all give it a try.
Since you're responsible for the newscast, you're also responsible for everyone involved in it, and that goes from the desk assistant to the anchor person to the news director. And whenever anything is wrong with the show, it is your fault. And in a sense, that's right and proper. I mean, there's got to be someone in charge and at the helm. And although sometimes it's unfair, I mean, it's not your fault if the projector breaks. It's not your fault if the sports person, reads the wrong score. But it still is your show, and you take responsibility for it. However, when things go right, you get incredible glory.
Isn't that amazing? I've been waiting for one story.
No.
There. I've been waiting for one story today.
And that was it.
And that was it.
California military air crash survivors reunited with families. 46 seconds. They came home today to a welcome that one Navy official described as a mixture of solemnity and joy. The joy was for the 10 crew members who survived and who were greeted by their families.
The first thing I think that I'm interested in is how interesting the story will be to a lot of people. It's wonderful when stories affect masses of people, because then you don't have to pretend that this is a great news day than it in fact is. If you don't get something that affects a lot of people, you get something with a lot of interesting political connotations, something that absorbs the viewer's mind, something that's dramatic filmically. I mean, there have been days when you lead with good film. Not a good story, just good film.
George Strait, ABC News, Washington. That was 46 seconds.
And if none of those are present, something that gets to their emotion. If you can take one person's particular story and do it in such a way that you have 2 million people crying, that's a story.
She has the background on the story. I'd like this to get done as soon as possible because, you know, I've got to get it in the lab by 10 so I can get it on the air. And it's a lead. Right. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Hi. Fred, 1840.
Well, they wanted to just talk to me over the phone, and if you like, we won't use your name in the story. Would you prefer that? They're supposed to stop it in order to clean it?
Should have it over there.
How often are they supposed to stop it? What went wrong with the machine when Mendoza lost his finger? Was Mendoza cleaning it at the time?
That's the first one.
Bulletin, Steve Martin is on Saturday Night Live tonight.
Oh, no company executives were there tonight. They took down a report.
While Iran's oil refineries
Yeah,
now
Fred?
use emergency crews replacing those who were on strike. So
Sandy
far,
on the
the strike is
hotline.
costing the government $60 million a day. In our own hemisphere, the nations of Argentina and Chile saying
We do
tonight
have weather film today, right?
war involved in a dispute over stray sea rights and ownership of free.
The one problem with the 7:30 show on Saturday is at a terrible time, which happens sometimes. The network just picks a time which it's dead for them, so it's live for us. First of all, no one's watching a show at 7:30 on a Saturday evening. They may not even be watching at 11, but no, according to our ratings, they are. But 7:30, absolutely not. They're at the movies. Also, 3 hours, and that's essentially what I have. 3 hours to put together a show is not a long time. All the stuff I do in the beginning is just very, very preliminary. I'm a believer in late formatting. I don't think you should lock yourself into something until the last possible moment so that you can change. However, at 8 o'clock, the anchors come downstairs. They run out for a bite to eat. They're back at 9, and we now have a half-hour show to write and get together and make good. And that's really not a long time. Hi, can you give me your address there? 300 Hospital Drive. This is Channel 7 News Scene. I have a crew on the way there to interview someone. And they're not sure where the hospital is. Is it around some kind of landmark that they can see? Okay, Redwood Street turnoff.
But it's okay. Go across the Carquinez Bridge and you'll be on 80. It's the first take the Redwood Street
Where did you
turnoff.
get the information about that rally?
Then turn right and go 1 block to a stoplight.
Can you hold on a minute? I gotta talk to Jacobus, Carol.
Okay, hold on. Sandy, would you find Fred for me? And have him talk to Carol about where I can find the C&H PR guy's home phone number. Hi. Peter? Oh, I'm sorry. Somebody.
I was very excited about the C&H story because 7 had broken the Bob Frank story, and it was dynamite.
Sandy, was he on 42?
Linda's fine with him.
He had lost half of his body in a sugar machine there, and from that story, there was a state investigation, and it's really good when a news story can have that kind of effect. Therefore, if I can do a legitimate follow-up to that story with another victim who supposedly lost his finger, what else could I ask for?
Okay, bye-bye.
Okay, Claudia, what are you going to have for dinner?
Peter said fine. He's very excited and happy. Okay? And I'm sorry to pull you away from your dinner guest.
And he's going to be very happy.
Okay. This one thing though, just get a couple good sound pops from this guy. The reason being, I've got to hold the lab person overtime to process this and all that sort of thing. I need it back by 10 so we can get it on because it's the lead. Okay?
And I had no trouble with, overtime for a reporter and a cameraman.
All right. Okay. Bye-bye.
Honey,
How much do you need?
oh, I don't know, how much? $2, $3? That should be enough.
I think I want chicken and noodles.
Okay, that's what you said.
Of course, it's our responsibility to get the other side. Especially, well, it always is, and and we do try to be responsible about that. When you take on a big company, you just don't go in there half-baked. So it was necessary for me to call the CNH PR person.
Did you find it? Oh, great. Television news. Where was it?
I feel like I'm representing the station.
Oh, yes, okay. Hold on one second. Hello, Mr. Martin.
I was really surprised at his attitude. I thought it would be much more professional, but he insulted me right off the top.
Fred Mendoza.
And he said that I was being ridiculous, that we were digging up a story out of a garbage can. And the first time I called him, I had called merely to confirm that this accident had happened. That's normal procedure.
Well, we haven't been able to get CNH to make a comment to us. Why don't you let our cameras go inside your plant? Why don't you let our cameras go inside your plant? Well, if we have to tell your side of the story, you should at least give it to us. How can you accuse us of giving unsubstantiated reports when you don't give us your side of the story? We threw it on the cutting room floor. When did you let us inside your plant?
7's news judgment is certainly colorful, and you will find that not everyone at 7 agrees with it. But that's what gets us over in plain language. However, I didn't see where he got off accusing me of that, because as far as he knew, I was calling to confirm and calling to find out more about this, and he just immediately got angry.
The story here is about the safety of those machines. Good night.
You hung up on you again?
For you. I'm proud of you.
Is that an official CNH comment?
Yeah. No, we can't. We shouldn't go with the anybody wants. Well, I don't know. We can say what he said verbatim to me was anyone who wants to get on our television station, all he has to do is stick his finger in a machine.
By this time, I was really excited. I was going to have I was going to repeat that on the air, that someone had dared to say that.
What time is the tease and how long is it?
Aha!
The question is, do we want to use her in the tease?
Jacoba says we do.
Well, if it's a 10-second tease, it's in the log.
It won't do.
Finally, the last step was to get the reporter's analysis of how the interview was. And it's interesting, I had a feeling in my bones that she wouldn't like it, because it had all been too good to be true. I mean, I had a great lead, and all that kind of stuff. It had all been too easy. And when she called back and said, "It's terrible," I just knew she was going to say that. And so I said, "How terrible?" And she explained that, first of all, the man believed it was his own fault and that there were guardrails. So I do have enough journalistic integrity to drop the story, because anything else would have been a lie. It simply would have been a lie.
It's just disappointing. Able 2 is out. In case anyone didn't know.
Yeah. Change the whole format?
Give her all the copy back to her. Oh, shit.